Hello, my name is Dr. Stanley Lang, and welcome to this broadcast. If you follow the videos that I create, you know that my focus is usually on what I call whole person health. Years ago, we used to call it holistic health. We changed from the word holistic to whole person health because holistic came to take on meanings that meant everything but the kitchen sink in terms of spiritual stuff. And Christian whole person health is not everything but the kitchen sink approach. It's very focused on Christian. So I'm going to talk about the connection between experiencing freedom from the things that we do to hurt ourselves, which we could call self-destructive behavior, and Christian whole person health. So first we have to define terms. Christian, that means a follower of Jesus Christ, not somebody that just kind of thinks that the Christian concepts are good, but actually a follower. So Christian is the first part of that phrase. Whole person health means health of body, mind, and spirit being pursued all at once, and with the attempt to integrate the three together. And when that happens, there is a synergy in terms of the health that one experiences and the improvement in health that develops from the attempt to be healthy in spiritual matters, emotional matters, and physical matters all at the same time. So I also mentioned in the title idols. So basically, people, I have discovered, are longing for a few things, and those things are largely being pursued at a subconscious level. We want meaning in life. We want to have significance. We want to contribute in some important way to society. And the problem is that the deepest expression of those things happening in our lives can only happen through relationship with God. If you try to pursue those things any other way, you're going to start doing things that represent alternatives to God and literally become idols. And so I'm not going to go into all the different ways that happens, but I'm not saying that we worship these other things, but we will attach significance to them that we normally would only attach to God if we were pursuing God. So what happens is that when I have this kind of relationship with the world around me, that I am pursuing my idols for significance or for meaning, I inevitably fall into self-destructive behaviors. Now, they may be internal behaviors in terms of self-talk, judgment, changes mentally that cause a lot of chronic stress responses inside me. They may be physical things that I'm doing, but inevitably people fall into self-destructive behaviors. And the way to freedom from these self-destructive behaviors is to understand that I am pursuing meaning, significance, these other things that I've talked about, and that the only way to really experience those things in my life is to walk through the door that Jesus created when he died and pursue God. Now, the problem is that door is a real narrow fit, and I don't have any room except for me to walk through it. I can't carry baggage along with it, and so I got to leave my idols behind me. Now, what are your idols? Well, what are the things that matter in your life more than pursuing God at that moment? It might be some food that you want to eat instead of pursuing God at this moment. It might be some alcoholic beverage or some drugs or a lot of other things that could be idols. In other words, we put aside relationship with God so that I can pursue this other pleasure. Those are the idols that I have to let go of if I really want to step into this place of freedom with Jesus. Now, why is that important in terms of health? Because I will continue to do self-destructive behavior until this inner stuff in me is healed, and it isn't healed until I am getting closer and closer to Jesus and experiencing my significance coming from that relationship. And if that's not happening, I am not experiencing deep healing, and I'll continue to drift back into self-destructive behavior. I recently read an article about a woman who was a winner of the Biggest Loser contest, and she talked about how she had regained all of her weight that she'd lost, over 100 pounds, and how she knew it was related to the stuff inside of her life that she hadn't healed yet, and that this was causing her to regain weight. And a different way that I would say that is that people are dramatically driven by their self-image, and until your self-image is healed, you're going to continue to do what your self-image says you should look like or be like. And the self-image that can be there is somebody that is a child of God and in close relationship with somebody that loves them enough to die for them, which is Jesus, or who is Jesus. And that's the self-image that we can potentially have, but most of us are carrying around a self-image that is far from that. We don't like ourselves. We don't think we're worthy of love. We don't think that we're worthy of significance. And that's the self-image that needs to be healed, or I'm going to drift back into self-destructive behavior. And I'm going to look for other ways to find meaning other than God, because if I go to God, I have to give up those idols. So my psyche knows that, my subconscious knows that, and it knows that I have to divest myself of that stuff if I really want to have a relationship with God, even if I don't want to admit that stuff consciously. So Christian whole person health is the path to freedom, because when you pursue whole person health through relationship with Jesus, you will gradually, sometimes quickly, become more and more free of the self-destructive behaviors that are holding you back. So I hope you're willing to embark more on this journey. If you're not on the journey, and if you are on the journey, I hope that you dig deeper into the steps of the journey and understand that going through that door that leads to a deep relationship with Jesus, it doesn't let you carry your baggage with you. You got to let go of it, or else you can't go through the door, and you stay outside from that experience of close relationship. So I wish you well on your journey. God bless, and have a great day.